Hello everyone, welcome to SOAR podcast. It's a Christian podcast you would enjoy, you'll be blessed, and you'll be greatly edified. And even if you're not a Christian, I'm sure you still enjoy it because we are talking about issues that we face on day-to-day basis. My name is Odeto Yorilade, and in the studio today, I'm not alone. I have wonderful people. With me today, I have Lambe Mayokun. He's a tech enthusiast and a virtual assistant. Can you say hi to us?
Hi.
Thank you. I also have with me Odetoye Oilayo. She's a home economist and a writer. Please say hello to us.
Hi.
We are also privileged to have in our midst a guest. He's a pastor, he's a lover of young people, and a passionate teacher. We have today Pastor Kende Akinpelu. Please say hello to us.
Hello.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So today's topic is squeezing lemonades out of life's lemon. So what is lemon and what is lemonade? Have you tasted lemonade before? Have you?
Well, I can say yes, I have.
Okay, but have you tasted lemon?
Yes.
Okay, so is there a difference?
Oh, definitely there's a difference between lemonade and lemon.
Okay, so I think, lemon is very sour.
Yes.
Yes, while lemon is, wow, so tasty and sweet. That's because a lot of water and sugar has been added. So this topic is just about when life brings unpleasant situations. That could be referred to as the lemon. So is it possible to bring out something sweet even from something unpleasant when faced with difficult challenges? Well, let me even start by asking this question. Is it possible not to have like any challenge in life, just to have a smooth ride? Maybe you are a rich kid and your parents are wealthy and everything is just going fine. You go to school. Is it possible to go through this life without having any one or two negative experiences? What do you think?
Well, I think it's hardly possible to go through life without facing challenges, because I don't think there is one single person on earth that can say I have a smooth ride throughout my stay. And even Jesus has told us before that's John 16:3, that we're going to face trials in this life, but we should be of good cheer because he has overcome. And there's a particular version that talks about we should have confidence in God. We should not let frustrations, we should not pay attention to the frustrations. That is because he knows that we'll be frustrated. We'll go through trials, we'll go through challenges that can be like sour lemons.
All right, thank you. What, Mayokun, I need to ask. I want you to think about this question.
Okay.
I'm sure you've met too many people with diverse experiences. So are you telling me that you've never come across someone who is having a smooth ride without any serious challenge or problem?
Well, if I must be honest, the most glaring and, well, let me say the most obvious challenges that people have in most cases that we usually see on them is money. If someone does not have money, pauper, you will see it the moment the person appears, this person. And that's why sometimes we step into places and they tell you sit down there. Places for these certain people. But then if we now see people that happens to like have this money and all, then we start to imagine, does this person have any form of challenges, or is anything going wrong in their life? If I will look at some people and we feel like this person cannot have any problem, well, I am going to say, based on the question you asked, that the more money you have or the higher you go, the bigger the problem. It may not look that way. But for a man now, what you are saying is how to go by daily bread to feed yourself and maybe to feed your family. But someone that has fed himself and fed his family is looking forward to being healthy and eating well and all of that. So there's no way one will be in life without having a lemon at one point in time. No matter how much of lemonade you have, you will definitely have some lemon.
So you are saying that, okay, let me ask Pastor Kenny. He's saying that in the midst of a lot of lemonade, there will certainly be lemon. Like even if it's just a lemon, Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do. But I also want to come from this angle. We have the challenges I'll talk about vary, and they could be relative. For one person to the other, we have different experiences.
Sure.
But there are still people who have actually been enjoying the smooth ride and are yet to still have major challenge. And for people like this, I'll quote a friend of mine. He's always pray for challenges.
Wow.
He said, because when the road is too smooth, somehow there could be accidents. But on rough roads, you hardly have accidents.
Calm down.
And I had a friend who recently lost his wife, and he said he kept asking. Everything has been so smooth for him. I got to a stage he was afraid. He kept asking, "Why am I just enjoying everything? Whatever I needed, I got it." Until that hit him hard, and he said, "Wow, is this the challenge?" And so he says, some people might be enjoying the flow, the smooth ride now, but definitely they will still have the hearts. And so we just pray, like that my friend will pray, that we have the challenge that will come back home.
I think even from what Pastor said, actually, I just had the memory of a secondary school friend that doesn't know what kerosene stove means, because he has never used the local kitchen before. It's ultra modern kitchen. So for someone like that, you're not telling the person that life can be challenging when you are trying to light up.
They don't understand.
You cannot relate.
You can't relate, yeah. But even for someone like that, I think what we are saying is that at one point or the other,
There will still be some challenges.
there will still be
that he will
some
also go through.
challenges. There will still be some challenges. But there's a question that is coming to mind now, because someone said something, I'll just paraphrase it, that when we go through difficult seasons in life, it's most likely because a certain principle has been broken, because this life is governed by laws and principles. So am I saying that if I encounter, are we saying that if I encounter a problem or a challenge today, doesn't mean I've done something wrong? Is it because maybe I have bad habits, maybe I am lazy, or maybe I have a terrible lifestyle? Is that why I would experience challenges if I do?
No, well, I think there are two ways so that there are consequences for things. You know, people, maybe you add 1 + 1 to give you 2. But there are people who go through challenges and it's not because they have bad habits. For example, Job's friends were thinking that he had sinned against God. He had done something very terrible to warrant what he went through. But he was blameless. He was a righteous man. And he himself was wondering why he had to go through that. Also, the blind man that Jesus healed, the disciples were wondering that, did this guy sin against God? Why is it? Because the concept there was that people who went through challenges must have done something
bad.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's not all the time that challenges are a result of bad actions or habits. But there are times when we ourselves bring challenges upon ourselves because we decided to do or break principles, as you said.
Thank you.
I would also like to add to what she said. You know, I was listening to someone recently, and the person was saying something like the fact that we Christians, in fact, majority of the sermons we hear today is that maybe when you pay your tithe, then you will get blessings and you will never lack at any point in time. Or when you pay your tithe, devourers will not come into your tents to devour your properties. Or if you are faithful in your marriage, you will never have any challenges with your spouse and all of that. The whole Christianity thing now is looking like if you do this, this is going to be the outcome. I think that is a bit fading from the reality of things.
Yeah.
You can do everything right and still get it by life. That is why it is called life. That is why I think it is called life. Because, okay, someone that has been a vegetarian from birth, has never taken anything unhealthy, live majorly on grain stuff like vegetables, plants, and all. And then at age 43, had cancer. And then you are now wondering that why he has always been living healthy. So basically, no matter how you try to keep up with something, life will always have its own version for you.
Yeah.
So, and I think that version of life is the one we call lemon. Yeah. Yes, that's sour and difficult to
That's
please
the
heart.
lemon.
Exactly. So no matter how much you try to keep the principles of things, there will always be something that will come. So it is, life is not based on doing, if you do this you will get.
It's not
And as
automatic.
she said, I must agree that there are so many things that we do that we experience the consequences.
Yeah.
Definitely, because we are humans. And if you, like, let's take for example, if you fornicate now go and catch STI, you are not saying that it's life that happened to you. Life will tell you that I don't have hand in this one. No, it's you that went to go and look for life where life did not look for you. So it is not based on principles. It's not based on principles.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not every time that the principle would determine what happens to
Yes.
an individual. Okay, but it is, life is still governed by principles. But sometimes there could be exceptions to the principles when life happens.
Okay. I think
Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Like we talk about the health principles, you know, eat well, rest well, but because we want to pursue money, we don't rest, we fall sick, we go back to God and ask God why. We
Yeah.
have broken the principle of health.
honestly,
Yes.
You know, there are also principles of giving. Give and you shall receive.
Yeah.
But we don't give, and we complain we don't have, and we go back to God. Why?
Why?
And so these principles must be followed. But we are not saying being principled means you'll be totally free. But to an extent, you know, there are some issues, there are some challenges that you overcome by being principled. Then the other ones that are beyond you, that is when God steps in. Like the right example Oyinlayo gave about Job. If you read Job chapter 1, verse 6, 7, 8, it was even God who introduced Job to Satan.
Yes.
So
My servant.
it was, God was just being proud of, just like our parents. You see some parents who tell their friends, my child just finished as a best graduating student, and in fact, he or she is going to get married soon. And that could get the child into trouble.
Yes.
Because some people will be jealous. That's exactly what happened to Job. God was so proud of him. He said, have you seen my son?
Servant Job.
And that was the beginning of the challenge. So there are some challenges that come because of the presence of Satan. And if this one comes, the hope that we have is that we can overcome.
So some challenges come because of the presence of Satan.
Satan.
Sorry, can I ask a question from the rounding statement that he made, that some challenges come because of the, are there challenges that come from God?
Wow, that's deep.
Because okay, let me try to expatiate. In most cases we say God does not do evil. He is not capable of doing evil. But then there are some aspects of life that we go through and then we'll say it is from Satan. And in the actual sense of it, you are not really seeing why Satan should do such to you. I don't know if you are understanding
Yeah,
me.
I got your question.
So
clearly.
you are facing challenges. Can we say that there are some challenges that come from God himself?
I agree with you. And the reason why I would say that is I see challenges sometimes as tools in the hands of God to help a believer. If you read Romans chapter 5, verse 3 and 4, it talks about tribulations. He said, tribulations worketh in us what? Patience. And patient works experience. And it is through this experience you can have hope. And so sometimes God sees that we are going the wrong direction. And the only way you could stop the car from having an accident is to apply the brake.
To stop
And
it from moving.
the brake could be a challenge. So sometimes God uses that to hold us back. If not, we'll get into trouble. Or sometimes we'll lose focus and we'll turn away from him. And sometimes God brings those challenges to help us focus again. And I want to use another example. If you look at, I've been looking at Saul. Saul could see. He could see clearly. But he was, that's that the saw in the
New
of
Testament.
Tarsus, yes, New Testament. He could see, he was a scholar, he was zealous and was doing his work. But he needed to become blind in order to see. God had to strike him with blindness, and that was what he needed to see. If he had not been blindfolded, he wouldn't have seen the truth. And so sometimes God brings those challenges to stop us from going the wrong direction and to see clearly what he wants us to see.
Thank you, sir. So you said there are some challenges that could be from God to help us get better and accomplish a work even within us. But I know that there are some situations where people now keep going through the lemon experience, that is the unpleasant experience. They keep going through one unpleasant experience, they move to another unpleasant experience, and it's continuous. So do we think, like, is that normal to perpetually be in the lemon state? And the next question is, if one finds him or herself in the perpetual lemon state, what can you do? Or should he just, okay, life happens, I'm in life, let me continue to wait in life? Or is there something to do to come out of that lemon experience, the unpleasant experiences?
I think we established something earlier, that life works both on principles and outside principles.
Okay, wow.
So if one is going through a perpetual lemon phase, that is, you are moving from one fry pan to fire and you keep going like that. I think the first thing is check yourself. Is there anything I ought to be doing that I'm not doing?
That's right.
Or is there anything that I'm doing that I ought not to be doing?
That's right.
When you check yourself first, then you check your relationship with God.
Yeah.
It's not that when others are making efforts to make themselves better, to acquire skills, to upgrade their knowledge on their known skills or something, you are there just waiting for a miracle. It will not come. God is not a magician. So you check yourself with God. If everything is in place the way it is supposed to be, then you keep trusting God. You keep trusting God. I read something on social media recently. The lady she finished university for like 6 years, no job, no boyfriend, nothing. It was like everything about her life was stagnant. And she kept trusting God. She made sure that she was serving God, and she kept improving herself. There was nothing for her to be doing. No job, there's no boyfriend, so she kept staying in her father's house, and then she kept improving herself. At the long run, within 6 months, she got her husband, and the husband took her, they traveled out. Within 6 months, the husband took her and they traveled out, and she's working there, and the husband too is living fine. So that is waiting on God. There are some times that God just tell you to wait, and you are trying to seek for deliverance when it is not time. Just wait. So I think if you are going from